a key worker are allowed to attend from next week. The government said that list includes, amongst others, frontline healthcare staff and those who work in the emergency services, food delivery workers, undertakers and public service broadcasters, and also bank workers and justice staff. In fact, that list is so long that there are concerns that some schools won't in fact be that much quieter, and that itself is putting pressure on staff, as Ben Chapman reports.
Lunchtime at this secondary school, and for many pupils, the last time they'll be together, perhaps for several months.
From Monday, you'll be doing your homework and everything that we've already set up.
But head teachers are having to plan for fuller playgrounds than they'd expected next week, after the government expanded its list of key workers whose children can continue at school.
I thought we would have to think about the most vulnerable children, not really the parents and their situation. So while we were thinking about staying open or having special provision for the most vulnerable, we didn't really think about that being dictated by someone's job.
It's led to concern that classrooms that were meant to be largely empty on Monday will be filled with children who don't need to be there.
Even for children that come from a home where there are essential workers, most of those children should still be cared for in the home setting if at all possible. The idea of being able to take children to school was if that isn't possible.
So we're going to make sure that the staff have got 50% working time at home and then 50% in school.
It's been left to teachers to work out which pupils qualify and how many staff they need. At Parklands Primary in Leeds, there was an end-of-term feel to lessons today, but as many as a third of pupils could be here next week.
It's good for saving lives, and I like coming to school a lot to learn and everything and play with my friends.
Takunda's mum is a nurse. He'll be at school. His friend Macayson will not.
I wish I was coming into school so I could chat with my friends instead of being at home. Because at home you're not really allowed to play out.
The issue of who's a key worker and who isn't has also divided parents picking up their children this afternoon. Gabby, a supermarket worker, was surprised to be on the list.
I just fill shelves and serve customers, but today obviously I've been told different. I am needed, and this is an opportunity for me to still be able to do that.
For teachers here, there's disappointment at saying goodbye, but determination to keep schools open and support those parents whose work is vital to keep the country running, however long that takes. Ben Chapman, ITV News, Leeds.
Jaguar Land Rover will suspend production at its British plants next week because of the outbreak. The company intends to resume production in a month's time, although this will be reviewed, it says. Other firms, including Nissan, Vauxhall and BMW, have already stopped production in the UK. Italy has upped its disinfection efforts as the number of people who've died from the virus there has now passed 4,000 after more than 600 died in one day. And California's governor has put the entire state on lockdown, having predicted around half of the 40 million people in the state could have contracted the virus. New York has also told non-essential workers to stay at home. And finally, the Chancellor spoke tonight of how when this crisis is over, we should be able to look back at many acts of kindness. And in the town of Corsham in Wiltshire, locals are already ensuring that is the case, as Rupert Evelyn reports.
There is little brightness in the national mood right now, and scratched beneath the surface, there are many trying to make the best of a bleak situation.
There's a few streets have already been done, but...
Here in Corsham, they're reaching out to those isolated at home to offer help with anything, and to let them know they are not alone.
There's all those terrible stories about, people emptying shelves and being really selfish, and but there's a lot of good stuff happening as well. There's a lot of, and I think this is going to show the worst of people, but also the best of people.
The bookshop, still open today, has introduced local delivery, but as we move into a new season and a new way of living, they recognise the need to adapt their relationships with customers.
Some people we haven't seen for a bit, we could just ring them. We've got most of their phone numbers, and some of them aren't on the internet. I mean, the older customers, not everybody's got the internet, and they will be very isolated.
The pub can't play host for Mother's Day, but they can still cook. More than 50% of those who were hoping to eat in are now taking the roast home.
Yeah, we want to obviously provide something to mothers. I mean, so we come up with a takeaway option so they can come and collect them meals ready to eat, piping hot.
Oh, that's a good idea.
With the arrival of spring, the days are now longer than nights. Isolation means gardens may see more attention than normal. And National Trust gardener Neil Carter knows the value of working and relaxing outside.
A lot of gardeners struggle to sit in their own garden because there's always something to do. But I think in these times, just try and relax and enjoy the garden.
Change is everywhere right now, but much remains the same. Good things are still there. They're just a little harder to spot. Rupert Evelyn, ITV News, Corsham.
And that's all for evening news. Tom Bradby will be here at the later time of 10:20, but from everybody here, stay well. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.